in my last demonstration class, whatever I have discussed, just open that file. Yeah. Here, this is what we are going to cover, connecting with our .NET. I said, like, you cannot learn .NET Core directly, okay? Because to learn .NET Core, compulsory, the prerequisite is to have knowledge on C#.NET. Yesterday's class I'm talking. Yeah, what C#.NET includes, that I made a list here. Yeah. And C#.NET we are going to implement on .NET Framework, as well as C#.NET we can implement even on .NET Core. Both are possible. Okay, this is regarding content. Then we discussed the in an introduction part, the one statement I listed is C#.NET is a language, and connecting with language, these all I yesterday explained. What is the meaning of language? What are the types of languages? What is machine language? And what is platform dependent? Then I said, as a .NET programmer, before you enter into programming, or even before you enter into C#.NET introduction, compulsory as a .NET programmer, you need to be clear on these two terms. One is called platform and the other is called framework. And connecting with platform, yesterday I have explained you, not necessary that platform should be always related to operating system. I said the meaning of platform changes from one application to another application. Yesterday, this was the architecture I have covered about platform. Yeah. Here, in this example or in this architecture, I covered like hardware becomes a platform for OS, and OS becomes a platform for C++ code. Whereas for .NET Core, .NET Framework becomes platform, and for Java code, JRE becomes platform. Comparison we had yesterday. Comparison. And finally, in this architecture, we found around 4 platforms. Hardware is one platform, OS is one platform, JRE is one platform, .NET Framework is one platform. So platform doesn't mean only OS. Then I described platform is an environment to develop and to deploy applications. That is the definition of platform. Not necessary that platform should be always related to what? OS. Okay, that was one part. Yesterday's class, I meant to say. So students who missed my last session, you can collect the video from the management and you can go through that. And second term I discussed yesterday was about framework. And what is framework? I said ready to use. Collection of what? Classes and interfaces. And using those classes and interfaces, we are going to develop our applications. Ready-made things. Yeah, that was quite a small introduction towards basics before we enter into C#. Yes, now here we come up with introduction to Visual C#.NET. And remember, when I use a word visual, it is related with graphics. C# is all related with C family. This dot is what you call classifier. And net, two descriptions we have regarding net. One, official term which Microsoft has specified for net is network. That's it. There is no other description of it. There is user description. I mean, this is user-defined description, not from Microsoft. This is user-defined description we have. That is something called network enable technology. Microsoft calls network only. This is the term described by us as network enable technology. That is what our subject is now. Okay. Now, keeping all these things in view, remember the very first point that I would highlight at that point is it is a product of Microsoft introduced in the year 2002 as .NET 1.0 and was developed by Anders Hillsberg. Yes, Anders Hillsberg. He is the one who introduced .NET. And one more interesting thing in this, especially when I use the word C family. Yeah. When I use the word C family, remember, it actually makes all those languages whose name starts with C. One, C language. Second, C++ language. Third, C# .NET language. Yeah. These all makes C family. These all make C family. And remember, especially when I say C language, this was introduced in 1972. This was in 1982. And this was in 2002. Yes. And one more interesting thing, between C and C++, there is a gap of 10 years. Between C++ and C#, there is a gap of 20 years. And one more interesting thing, between C++ and C# .NET, there are other languages that were introduced. The only reason why I'm not writing, why I'm not saying about those languages is only because their names doesn't start with C. That is the only reason. Otherwise, after C++ in 1980, 1989, Python was introduced. In 1992, Java was introduced. Because those languages doesn't start by their names by their names with the C. For that reason, I ignored them so that classification could become easily. Yeah. And one more interesting thing here is, especially when you talk about C++, you expand C++ writing like this. C++. Yeah. What does it mean? What does it mean? It means C++ includes complete C language. C++ includes complete C language plus additional feature. And remember, from here, object-oriented programming is introduced. OOPS programming is introduced from C++. C++. C includes complete C plus additional feature. Exactly same way, when it comes to C#.NET, the meaning of this C# is like this. C++ plus plus. C++ plus plus. What does it mean? That C++ includes complete C#.NET includes complete C++ plus additional feature is introduced. Additional feature. I'm writing C++ when I'm talking about C#.NET doesn't mean that you should know C++, then you learn C#. It's not at all. I yesterday very clearly said you that when we start programming in C#.NET, obviously it would be right from scratch. It would be right from scratch. Yeah. till we go with advanced programming. And what is additional feature added? What is additional feature added? Many are added, but the most important that makes your subject so important, so highlighted, and that is APIs are introduced here. Application Programming Interfaces. APIs are introduced. And you know, one more interesting thing, especially connected with the subject, C# initially, when it was developed in 2002, it was not named as C#.net. There were there was a lot, discussion. There were a lot of, analyzations and a lot of, considerations about pronunciation of the term. Then actually the name of the language was left like this finally. C plus 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 here. C plus 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 plus. Additional feature. C plus 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 additional feature. Yes. The same C plus 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 was written like this. Then they found lot of issues in pronunciation this term. Then what they did, they clubbed all these lines, these 4 plus symbols that indirectly took the shape of hash symbol. That hash is actually 4 plus symbols. Hash is 4 plus symbols. That is what the description says about C#. Yeah. Now, yeah, can you see that .net? Can you see that .net? Dot is called classifier. Dot is called classifier. What is the classifier? I was saying languages, technology, classifier. C#.net, VB.net. General query. What is this all? .txt, .docx, .xlsx, .html, .css, .ppt, .js, .cs, .c, .cpp. What are all these? Classification of files. This all includes classification of what? Files. As you got classification of files, exactly same way, .NET has its own classification with the languages and technology. With languages and technology. You understand? Yeah. Now, considering keeping this second point in view, now I describe what C#.NET is. What it is, first point. It is general purpose. What it is? It is a general purpose. Plus, it is simple. Yeah, it is general purpose. Second, I highlight, it is simple. And third, I would highlight, that it is modern. Plus, it is object-oriented. What it is? All these I link now. What? Programming language. Instead of saying 4 statements, I club all 4 in one. C#.NET is general purpose. C#.NET is simple. C#.NET is modern language. C#.NET. Instead of saying every time, I made those as common point. What type of language C#.NET is? Answer is these 4. General purpose, simple, modern, object-oriented programming language. Okay. What you can do with this language? Used to develop what? Console. and window, that is called desktop based based applications. Yes. What types of applications? Console based and window desktop based applications. Two types. Before I go further in the next, important point, let me first describe or give you some brief idea on these terms. Remember, when I use a word general purpose, when I say no, C#.NET is general purpose. What is the meaning of general purpose here? Remember, the meaning is it is used to develop various types of applications. Various types of applications. Like what? Already you find I said what you can use desktop application. On the top I wrote desktop application. You can even develop games. You can develop games development. Even using C#.NET, you have an approach for mobile applications. Yeah. And even if you go with, you can develop cloud services. Even you are going to have a support of web applications. Even you are going to have something related with enterprise applications. These all support we have, all these types of application development we can do with C#.NET. Yeah, you remember yesterday I said, even when you write a program for web development, when you develop web application, visible will be web application, but background support will be C#.NET. Background support will be C#.NET. Yes. That is what the meaning is about. What do you call? General purpose. Yeah. Now, what is the meaning of simple? Why I said that C#.NET is simple? What is the meaning of saying C#.NET is simple language? Reason. Simple. You know something? It's syntaxes. You can highlight syntaxes. Easy to learn, easy to use. You can just simply say like easy to learn and easy to use. Yeah. Syntaxes are not that complicated. Syntaxes. You have your environment, which is very easily managed with the .NET framework or .NET framework or core. You got very standard library support from Microsoft. You understand? Clear syntaxes. You have a support of clear syntaxes. You understand? And what else you can say? And people have a support type safety. Yeah, type safety. What it deals with, yeah, that has lot of things to discuss, especially in a concept of type safety. Yeah, you call C#.NET as strongly typed language. Strongly typed language. Yeah, simple. Why it becomes simple? And another reason, we got very good support of tools that make C# simple. What is the tool? The best tool for writing your where you can develop C# and .NET application, that is your Visual Studio. That makes your application development quite very simple. Tools. And one more support, one more. We have a support of even community support. We have that. That also makes your application development easy. You understand? So C# has a very large and active community. C#.NET has very large and active community. And you got a very good support of documentation. There are a lot of tutorials. There are a lot of forums readily available for you to assist to whom? Developers. Yeah, you have some issue with your application. If that application is not running, there is a community support provided by, for community support we have been provided. Put your requirement for them. There are many people around the globe who can find solution of your requirement. That too, giving a very brief, very detailed, everything they provide explanation about your requirement. You understand? Mm. Complex things, all the Microsoft has removed. Complex things. They made interaction to C# quite very simple. Why? Why? Because they know that C#, when a person understands, then he can think about. Then he can think about what? Mobile application. He can plan to learn mobile application development. For that, Microsoft has provided one software called Xamarin. Install Xamarin, application development start, mobile application development start. But in that also you require a coding process. That coding requires of again of C#.NET. Web application, whether you develop web application using ASP.NET or you develop web application using ASP.NET Core. Web application you are developing with ASP.NET Web Forms or ASP.NET Core, but background support is what? C#.NET. That made them to say that C# is simple language. Hmm. Now, why they call modern, why they call C#.NET as modern programming language? Modern programming language. The reason behind calling C#.NET as modern programming language, because first point, we are provided with all the latest programming facilities. We are introduced in it. Latest programming facilities. Like what latest programming facilities? Yeah, lot of things are there. General I'm saying, because even if I say, because we are not aware of the programming part, that may put you in confusion. But let me say, like one generics they introduced. Yeah, modern language features. May I write? Let me just list for your reference. Some I list some. What is it? Generics. Yeah, this is one. Second, link. Second. Third, asynchronous programming. Asynchronous programming. Yeah, we are going to use lot of times, especially these two. Async, await. Yeah, we are going to use this. .NET Core, my maximum application, I'll be using it. Maximum applications. And what else we have? What other things? Uh, mm, cross-platform. Because of .NET, this has come. .NET Core. Because of .NET Core, we have come across with this. Cross-platform capabilities. Then we have something related with pattern matching. Yeah. Pattern matching features they introduced. Lot of latest, lot of things are there, lot of things. Memory management, you don't need to involve in memory management features. Yeah, C#.NET will take care of. Let me write that also. Yeah, memory management. In C++, memory was handled Memory management was in our control. I mean, user used to take care of that. Developer used to take care of that. Now what Microsoft says, or all advanced programming languages says, whatever memory you need, how much memory you need, just say us that you want to store this data, .NET will take care of. Your involvement is not needed, neither in allocation you need, nor in deallocation you need. I'm going to talk in my next part about those two things also. And obviously, when I talk about object-oriented, yes, when I talk about object-oriented, here, two important points I'll highlight. Other things are a lot to study on it, but most important points, what are they? One, security to data. And third, accurate code reusability. But that's it. Whatever topics you learn in object-oriented, target will be these two only. Providing security to data and achieving accurate code reusability. Yes. This is the description of these four terms. Yeah, anything you want to ask in this, go ahead. If not, I'll continue with the remaining features that are considered to be a general point. Yes, please. Yeah, Ahmed, is this clear for you? Gaikwad, am I audible to you? Gaikwad.
Yes, very clear for me.
Okay, right, Ahmed. That's fine. Yeah, Gaikwad. Sai, what about you?
It's very clear.
Okay. Shravin. Yeah, Shravin. Vaibhav.
Clear, sir. Everything is clear.
Right, right. Okay. Yeah. Srinivasan. Yes.
Sir,
You have any
clear,
questions?
sir. Clear.
Okay, chalo, right. Okay. Now going forward, the remaining point, general points these are. We don't have much explanation, but still to have idea on that, remember, here I would say C#.NET can be used in combination with ASP.NET both to create web applications. It means C# alone will not talk about, core.NET, .NET web application. It support, I'm saying. I said, no, used in combination. Okay. And one more point. These are generalized. C#.NET is case sensitive language. Sixth, C#.NET is compiler based language. And seventh, I would say C#.NET is syntax based language. Yes. Now, I won't say on all that stuff that may unnecessary may put you in confusion. I will not, because no one will ask you about it. Even if you're interested, when I share my notes, you can go through it regarding, C#.NET version, .NET framework version, CLR related version, year in which they are introduced. I have prepared a document with a table format. You can go through it. No one will ask you like which in 2010 which .NET for framework version was introduced, in 2013 which .NET version was introduced, something which is next to impossible for us, because it is from 2002 till 2025. If you compare, you can understand like lot of versions Microsoft has introduced in .NET. So obviously it is something which is next to impossible for us to remember accurate dates, months, years on which so and so version was introduced. No one will ask. Rather, they may focus with respect to features, some unique features which they have found. In that aspect, questions may be asked. But I won't say, that in this 23 years of development of .NET, they won't ask you like which framework, which CLR version, in which year it is introduced. Even if you're still interested, when I share my document, when I share my notes, you can go through it. But you, as a developer, you should know which version is going on, which version we are going to learn for our implementation. That part, if you're familiar, that part, if you're clear, the implementation part of when it comes to, when it comes to what do you call programming implementation to some particular feature, you should know that feature when it was introduced, which year. That part is enough. Here also not version, if you remember, it's enough. Okay. And when I share my notes, I mentioned in my notes very clearly, 6 May what new features, 7 May what new features they introduced, 8 May what new features they introduced, 9 what new features they added, 10 what new features they added. Yeah, we will study them. Important. Whenever practical starts, definitely we are going to study them. Okay.
For interviews, they don't ask version-based questions. They
Nah,
ask
that is
the right uh, logic type of question or the
exactly,
programming
exactly.
part type of
Correct,
question.
correct,
That's what
correct.
I understood from this
Mhm.
point.
Exactly, correct. That's what I was saying. Because if you just get into a history, remember, like if you talk about history to this .NET, this is what I'm just saying you. In 2015, 2017, in 1 year, Microsoft has released two versions. Date, month, year. You don't waste your time at the back of it. I would suggest you in that way. Instead, you focus on whatever the topics I cover towards your implementation, towards programming. You focus on that part. That may help you in understanding interview related, programming related things. With proper implementation. Now, going forward, remember one more point. Let me list here features of C#.NET, not related to any specific version. Features of C#.NET, you better can call general features of C#.NET. What do you call them? General features of C#.NET. And in that, first we will understand platform independent. Yes. Platform independent. So this one will go in detail. Okay, I'll cover very detail. We'll discuss. I said yesterday, right? To understand platform dependent, platform independent, first you should know what is platform. And don't get confused. Platform is not about OS. No, yesterday's picture. Platform is an environment, I said, to develop and to deploy application. Never say that platform is something related with the OS. Okay, I'll talk on that. Yeah, second feature that we learn in detail, that is about language independent. Second feature. Third, we learn language interoperability. Yeah, these three features detail will study detail with comparison, everything will understand. And remaining features, whatever are there, we just learn them for theory. Just I make a list of them, but I won't discuss much about it. Yeah. Okay. And coming to this software, probably tomorrow will wind up over. Theoretical things will be completed. Then I'll show you the installation of .NET software. Yeah, if you download the software from Microsoft website, you will be provided with the trial version. क्या बोलते हैं? Uh, yeah, trial version. CTP they call actually. CTP, Community Technology Preview. Yeah, CTP software you'll be getting. Trial version you call, basic version you call. No. We are going to use, yeah. we are going to use Enterprise Edition. Yeah. And my software, which I share with you, will be a licensed one. I'll even share the key. Initially, yeah, I'll share. Yeah, I'm using 2022. Yeah, 2020 Visual Studio, which is licensed one. And at 17, I'll share initially for you. Then that will be licensed. Once you register, you can upgrade to 2022. Since that we are upgraded one, then you get a support of 2022 automatically. Yeah, you just continue without. I'll just show you the registered part. Continue without code. Yeah,
Crack
here.
version is available for it or no?
It's there. Yeah. Here, one second. Here. Register Visual Studio. Yeah, like product key applied. And this is Enterprise Edition I'll be using. Okay, I'll share the software through Google Drive so that you download next, yeah, 1 or 2 days. I'll share the software. Once I get your email IDs from the management, then I'll share the software. Notes also I'll share, software also I'll share. But before to it, first we'll understand these features clearly. One among them is platform independent. Yes. And related to this platform independent, my point I'm saying, I'm going to cover 3 things in this. 3 things. First, I'll talk about what is platform independent. With architecture, I'll come with small picture representation I'll give you so that it would be easy for you to answer a lot of interview queries connecting with that platform independent. Okay. And second, I would discuss how internal the compilation execution process goes. That would be second part I'll discuss. And third, I will discuss what is called reverse engineering in .NET. 3 things. And then slowly we'll discuss the remaining features as well. Language independent, language interoperability, and so on. Okay. Tomorrow's class, I'll get back to you.
Backward compatibility is available for C# or not?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
We have. That's what we got that point I said. Reverse engineering in .NET.
Okay.
Yeah, Srinivasan, you have something to ask. Go ahead.
So, final real-time project which you have any sample? Real-time project, final project.
Yeah. Actually, point is project-related kind of thing. If you're looking forward, after completion of the course, a separate batch will be there. A separate course will be there where they make up things related with the project.
Okay, separated course.
And as far as course content is concerned, during the discussion of .NET Core, during the discussion of C#.NET, whatever things I cover, I'll be showing you that this can be considered to be a kind of mini project. You understand? So topic wise you can understand, coding point wise you can understand, and how that is actually being applied in real time, that also you can understand. Okay?
Okay.
Right.
And for that batch, the real-time project, is it related to everything? What are the applications we previously discussed?
They talk only about project at that time. They don't take up the content about training. They talk only about project. They'll give you, assignment kind of thing, tasks kind of thing towards the project. You have to go through them by developing whatever the activities, functionalities and all they'll explain. Project requirements and all they'll explain. But coding point of view and all, they explain few things. You have to involve in few things. Then that makes a point of understanding how a real-time project goes.
They would be provide the assignment, or it will be just a discussion kind of thing?
Tasks they'll give you. They'll explain and they'll give the task.
Okay.
And related to that, you have to implement it with coding, and that has to work in the process, like whatever you're doing in it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So features of C#.NET. First 3 we learn in detail. Okay. Detail I'll explain. And remaining features we just write, because At this stage, we cannot understand, directly ADO.NET, if I start, nothing you understand about database program. Even if I start something related with direct multi-threading, you cannot understand what it is. So those are also features considered, but we don't talk on that at this stage. I just make a list to them as features, practical, and everything we study whenever the topic comes in our course content. Okay. Anything else you want to ask?